Hello and welcome to Grand Theft Auto 5. We are so back again tonight. I have a full safe. That's kind of a big problem when it comes to progression and making more money. But perfect. That's a brilliant start to our day. It's only been 15 seconds and we've already made $1/100000. Alright, we gotta get Brock Thompson. Brock Thompson's isn't too bad. Brock Thompson's not bad. It can be a little tricky, but it's mainly just the tracking him down part that can take a little while. Um, I need to find I need to get a vehicle ready for these missions before I go into them. I need to be doing that. Not doing that for like ones like this, that's like kind of it can cause me some issues. Like not having the ability to be like, oh hey, I want my entity right now for the start of this mission would be phenomenal. Specifically the entity though. The entity is like my go-to. Oh, but my Zentorno came in. Fire! I didn't think it was gonna give me a car. Perfect. I'm in. It's not fair. Kind of reasonably. Uh-oh. Come on, you're not even real. Please, I know. Yay. That's exactly what I needed. Okay. Perfect. Nice. Beautiful. Fuck all three of those signs. Individually. One after the other. I'm gonna go over here. Okay. Oh, nice. Fuck. I'm about to. Okay. Okay. I'll put this like this. I'm gonna get these. Grab this. This. I'm gonna go with the assault shotgun. This will be my combo. Oh shit, they're close. Oh god. Okay, they're here.
Okay, let's stop this thing. What are you feeling? A blockade? Looks like they stopped.
Guess what I did?
Think Brock's still in the truck. Oh boy. Guy's probably juicing up. Go! Get him!
Now this is a hit section, baby. Fuck yeah. Ah, fuck. I gotta tap out.
That's a twofer, baby. You guys are gonna be stuck over there, aren't you? The shit that happens in this game is stuff that I can't make up. I can't even explain it to other people. It's all luck. It's all like a dice roll, you know? Completely random every single time. Let's get out of here.
Get out? You're on the top of my list, bitch. You know how many guys will come looking for you when they don't get their juice? I got a feeding frenzy on my hands, asshole. And you
Hey.
want to piss off every oiled up gym bro in the city.
More, like I said, more of the pissed off, oiled up gym bros, as you call them, the better. You wouldn't believe what that does for the internet. That's where independent creators shine, bucko.
I mean, physically, yeah, but inside, fuck.
I'm fucking dead.
You hear me up there? You're fucking dead.
Yeah, you're fucking in a loading screen. We back up in the casino. I'm not doing any gambling today, though. When I gamble, things just don't go well for me. So instead of gambling, I'm spinning my lucky wheel. Give me a car. Give me a big car. Give me a nice big car. That's the car there, though. You missed. You missed the car. You missed the fucking car. All right, I have a small road trip to go on, so I want to talk to you guys while I go on this road trip. So, I wanted to talk to you guys about one of the things that I'm passionate about, and you guys know I'm passionate about, which is Avatar: The Last Airbender. I think that show is one of like the best ever, and the stuff to come out of it typically is also very good. I'm very, very proud of the IP as it stands and as it exists. I feel terrible for the people that make it, because the artists that really spend their time developing these characters and these worlds into what they are and doing all these, you know, awesome things with it, are really shackled down by their fucking corporate overlords. It is, it's kind of devastating, the way that this, Avatar: Aang, The Last Airbender, the way that this movie isn't getting its own theatrical release in any sort of way is kind of devastating. I was very excited to see that in theaters. I was expecting it to be in theaters, just genuinely and truly, but to see that it's going to be instead put on Paramount Plus is devastating. And I'm gonna be honest, as we all know, this has nothing to do with the leaking of the film. I don't think that. I think even the people who make the show, I think like Michael DiMartino and you know, I I think they like both understand that they would make money still putting this in theaters. but I just don't know what their reason could be for not putting it in theaters, but I also don't think it was their choice. I'm 93% sure that this is a Paramount issue, the parent company just being very corporate overlordy. And that's quite devastating to me as someone who's a beloved fan of the IP. To see them wipe their ass with it is as hurtful as it is to watch a president wipe his ass with a constitution. Um, it's very stressful, and very, uh, you know, like irritating for me. Because the thing is for me in my position where I sit, as oopsie, is I can't fix that. I have no power to solve that issue that I have. Um, I'd love to. I'd love to have that sort of, prowess, but I don't. Uh, I'll tell you though, I'm excited to see it though. I'm excited to see that it's moved closer because that means at least I can just get it into my head sooner. That I do appreciate, because I'll tell you this, the wait that I had to wait was incredible. That was a long number. That was kind of, ooh, there's the second and third hundreds of thousands, which is perfect.
Smart. I'll keep these
Um,
in stock for you.
heavy rifle, L Strickler.
Won't be here forever.
Right.
Thank you.
I think that that's all I wanted to do. That was the only thing I actually had to do out here. Literally, that was it. I'm gonna go here though. Here's next. Um, I think that sitting on that IP and doing nothing with it is just also incredibly insulting. I think they need to be given more creative liberties as a creative studio, um, because their goal as creators of the show very clearly isn't just to make a TV show. With what they've done in the past, their goal is to really take that medium of art and expression and take it further beyond, uh, which they did in Avatar: The Last Airbender. I feel like they did in Legend of Korra, and I'm confident that they did in this new film. Um, but I'll tell you, not knowing is stressful, is really scary. I've heard a lot of awesome things about the movie though from the people who have watched the leak. I am not one of those people. uh Listen, I believe hacking can do, like, hacking, I say, data mining and stuff like that can be valuable in the gaming industry, but there is no place for that level of piracy in the movie and TV space. Um, I feel, because these things are supposed to be artistic expressions. The only films I do not feel like are artistic expressions are most Netflix originals. um Netflix originals have this like thing kind of in their contract where a lot of the characters have to directly say what's happening in the scenes so that the people that are watching and sitting on their phones can still understand what's happening in the movie without them being like, "Oh, I don't understand. This movie's bad." Ah, da, 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 and then giving it a bad rating because they just sat there on their fucking tablet the whole time. Which actually is a recorded phenomenon uh when it comes to movie ratings. Plenty of people that rate a movie poorly are just sitting on their phones most of the time during it, and there's no way to fix that. Um, but that doesn't mean that, and this is just a for instance, right? That is a great reason why maybe Toph shouldn't yell, "I invented metal bending," and then jump out the back of the whip like that. Pretty much. I thought that was probably the worst scene. And I'm sorry to say this because I feel bad. I know for a fact that the woman who played Toph, uh, I know for a fact she had to read this script word for word. They probably gave her shit for saying it another way or paraphrasing it. And then they were like, looked at her and were like, "Hey, you can't do that. You can't, no, say the script, please." I bet you something like that happened when delivering this line, because it is genuinely, truly that bad of a line. it is impossible to make the delivery of that line in the scene, in the context that it's in. It's impossible to make this scene good, frankly. It's very poorly said. But again, not because of the actress in any sense. I think that actually, in terms of loyal representations of characters, um, they all did a phenomenal job. I think they all did. Like I think Katara is just the perfect amount of preachy. I think Aang is just the perfect amount of like subtly hot-headed. This Bucci blueberry cheesecake. Okay. You know, I think they did a lot of those things very, very well. Just certain other things were really the certain line deliveries they missed the mark on because they have to say the things that are on the script, and they're also trying to kind of fit in sentences and famous quotes and lines from the episodes in which some of these scenes take part from, but using the quotes in other situations because the contexts of them are totally different, which is really hard to understand in the context of already having seen the original show. But obviously that's because I'm thinking of it in the context of, oh, I have already seen the original show. You can't be doing that. You have to remember you have to watch this forgetting the original show. It's a remake. It is a redo of Avatar The Last Airbender. It is a retelling. It is almost, I would call it an alternate universe telling of the Avatar The Last Airbender story. Just as of right now, for the record, everybody, because I know this is a YouTube video and is recorded, it is only season 2 has just been released, and I've already finished it. And I'll tell you, some lines have a rough moment. Morningwood. This is Red Harvest. Like, here's what I'm willing to bet, right? Because of how accurate I am, kind of how confident I am, rather, in this given situation. They've done all the, my cabbages. They got the twinkle toes and all these different little comments and whatnot in the show. But a lot of these times when they say them, they're in the wrong situations. Like, I'm pretty sure Toph is in a different situation when she calls, what's it called? Katara Sugar Queen. It's a completely different situation. And that's funny because it's a little awkward. It's not entirely accurate, and it kind of makes the sentence feel forced because it doesn't roll off as the situations aren't identical. The situations are different, so your reactions are going to be different too. So here's a prediction for season 3. Today being, July 9th, 2026. Hope I did the right one. I did. Good. I think that when Zuko is going to say, "That's rough, buddy," he is going to say it, but he's not gonna say it because my girlfriend turned into the moon and they're gonna be flying to, the prison above the heat fucking situation. What is it? The boiling prison. What's the name of that prison? I can't think of the name of it from the show. But it's okay. I don't need to. Purple sherbet. But yeah, just a little bit of my opinion there. I think that some of the moments are definitely crafted with love. That's without a doubt. But some of the moments are absolutely cucked by Netflix and their contracts. Let me tell you, contracts really don't have a place in a world of creative medium. They're causing, I think, some heavy anchors, heavy weights on the shoulders of a lot of really good IPs, like Shadow and Bone getting the second season canceled. I think is pretty devastating because I hear that the books are really good, and I remember watching the first season, and I thought that was really good. But kind of they're kind of fumbling the IP. Remember, like I said, I don't think it's, I don't think it's the showrunner's fault. I think the people who made the show know exactly what they're doing. But I'll tell you, I don't think the people that are in charge of where that money goes has Avatar's best interest in mind when it comes to the decisions that they make with Avatar. It almost feels as if it's one of their cash cows. Recently, the CEO of Xbox had actually come out to say that, like, the cash cow that Microsoft has is Minecraft. Minecraft actually pays to fund most of the their other games information and their work and their data and their everything. Minecraft is like the primary funder for most of the Xbox game services. With that in knowledge and with that at hand, you know, it's scary to think about what could they possibly be doing with some of other people's favorite IPs. I'm sorry, ladies. I know that, like, one thing's for sure, I don't appreciate that happening to an IP that has, you know, we'll say a show that has heavy political insight. If you think, and this, I'm going to say this too because I feel I have to, unfortunately, now we live in an era of a bunch of uneducated morons. If you think Avatar The Last Airbender has no political messaging in it whatsoever, you don't think it has it, you are an idiot. I'm sorry. I don't want to be mean. I don't want to we are alienating your chatters. You can't make them feel bad for... No, listen, right. In the second season of the show, you hear the phrase, "There is no war in Ba Sing Se," and it is a recurring joke and comment that people make about the show. "There is no war in Ba Sing Se" is supposed to be a government propaganda thing. The government is saying to the people, there is no war in Ba Sing Se. If you mention the war in Ba Sing Se, you'll be taken to Lake Laogai, you will be brainwashed, you will be abused, and then if you succeed in letting us wash your brain, we are going to let you, we're going to let you continue to live. We're going to permit your survival. That's torture. I'm sorry. That's torture. That's government sanctioned torture. That's insane. That's political. Government sanctioned torture? You don't think government sanctioned torture is political? Okay. What else? How about let's be vague here. Genocide, ethnic cleansing of the Air Nation in episode 1. Yeah, episode 1. The ethnic cleansing of the entire Air Nation people in bloody overnight massacre. I'm sorry. Hitler did that. Hitler got to power because of politics. The show is political. Anyway, I think that when a show like that has such a strong and powerful political message is getting muffled or choked out like that by its owner, it kind of feels propaganda-y. Does that make sense? Like, right now, we're kind of living in an era where a lot of people are saying, hey, I don't like what the rich are doing. I don't like their attitude. I don't like how they're doing stuff. And, you know, that's not too shocking. You know, the CEO of Nestle doesn't think that people deserve water. I can see why, you know, somebody would say something like that. If they didn't want people to say things like that, then the rich, you know, the rich kind of need to start acting a little different. But when the rich see, you know, how people feel, and then they take, you know, the important shows that taught us very important political messages, and then shit on them and squash on them with their own, you know, customized messaging and retellings, we can kind of see right through it. And it actually makes a product that compares to obviously an original, like for instance Avatar, because it's a remake. It makes the original only so much better because you can see where you are politically with the story being changed as hard as it is. Like, the genocide is still there because genocide isn't as hard of a topic to talk about anymore, coming, you know, the history of World War II and discussing, you know, the Jewish annihilation. That's, you know, that's pretty important to acknowledge. But now that similar camp-esque behavior is happening today, suddenly they want to pull back on Avatar. Suddenly they want to make it worse. Suddenly they want to make it struggle more. Doesn't seem right. Seems like you're spreading a bad message at the cost of your own money because you want... I don't know why you could want that, but it seems to be because you know your influence, you know how much money you have, and you know the outreach you have. You know your monthly subscriber accounts, and you know all these things. It seems like you want to teach a bad message. It seems like you want to falsely educate, or poorly educate, or miseducate the public. That's, you know, and listen, remember, this is just what I can infer off of human interactions. Humans only interact in a certain way. And, you know, some interactions are actually really, like, unnatural. And they show in people not really knowing what to do in those situations. Like, one of the biggest, for instances, I can give with unnatural human interactions is when you're talking to somebody who regularly uses fallacies and paradoxes within conversation, kind of with the intention of confusing you and making you feel, you know, crazy. You're the idiot. You're the stupid one. You don't understand the basic thing I just said. Like, if you're unfamiliar with a fallacy, I can give you an instance of a fallacy. I can think of the straw man fallacy. Straw man fallacy is when somebody says, you know, I believe that all people deserve the right to health care. Well, for some reason, some people will hear that instead of thinking, okay, that is true. People, you know, are all living, they're all alive, and they have to live. It's probably better of them to be able to get the medical help that they need in a situation where they need it. But some people will take that, and instead of going, well, you know, and thinking the normal thing that I said, that's what a normal human says. Some people will hear that and go, that's, you know, I don't know why you think you can take my money like this. Like, yes, you want to feed other people, but you have no right to tax me and take away all of my tax dollars and the tax dollars of working people so that you can sit on your ass and not do anything all day. Basically, they take what you said, turn it into 400, 500 different things without ever really truly touching on the topic of what you were getting at in the first place. It's like a genuine mistelling, a mess up of Catholic proportions, and taking kind of a a situation and frankly politicizing one that may not be very political. And you want me to talk about things that are political that aren't political? I'll give you a great example. If you think that transgenders using public restrooms and attacking young people is a common thing to happen, or a crime that happens now or will happen, it's such the crime rate on it is so low that even Trump at one point has said out loud that it's such a non-issue because the crime rate numbers on it are just so insane. They're just so low. It's just not a real problem. Like it's as real of a problem as and this is just going to be a for instance because it's insane. Suicide dolphins, suicide vest wearing dolphins, armed by Hamas working out of the Strait of Hormuz. That's how insane we're talking. That's how crazy we're discussing. That's how batshit levels of lunatic we are talking. But hey, listen. You may believe some of these things, and you may feel a little insulted by some of the stuff that I've said here today. I say things with a brutal honesty and a fear for the future of the world. Not just the country, the world. I'll be honest. I trust you can make the right call to do proper research. You don't use AI, learn, grow, be better than the people before you. Etc., etc. Perfect. Jump me out this hole. Hello? Okay, let's get out of here. Yeah, at that, I wanted to say something. With that spiel being said, I do have a final sentence that I have here. I want to wrap things up with. With the world kind of turning to what it's come to, a lot of these IPs and creators are they're probably having a hard time. They're probably struggling to keep up with demands, with workloads, with all kinds of different things in that ballpark. So I recommend, if I were you, you should find out if your favorite IPs are having a hard time. Find out what what the devs are going through to make a new update to Phasmophobia. Find out what it takes to make a new episode of Naruto. Figure out what the actors had to go through emotionally to put on a scene like as emotionally delicate as Azula's crash out from the final episode. Figure out what it takes to make these things yourself. And then if you can, which you can, don't think that you can't, because you definitely can. Once you can, try and just join them. That sounds weird. That sounds crazy. But crazier things have happened. There are plenty of people that have jobs at animating studios. There are plenty of people who are voice actors. There are plenty of people who make game updates. There are plenty of people who do a lot of these things. But if you get a job, you can't go here with the intention of money making, because you're in a job of art. You're telling a story. Yeah, make money, sales, whatever, profits, absolutely. Keep a business going. I understand. You're making art. That's the most important thing. Is you're making art. If your art doesn't have a story to tell, people can tell. Like people can see it, and it is obvious, and it doesn't. It's not a good look. Doesn't look pretty. But you can keep the art good by keeping the human experience in it. The second the art starts becoming contracts is when it's not art anymore. It's not off of the human experience. It's not off of what you know or I know or anyone who's ever been alive knows, because, excuse me, it's too out of touch. So, yeah. Take that, put it in your pipe, and smoke it for a little bit. Alright. Counterfeit Cash Factory. Delivered. Delivery done. Guys, I gotta end the episode. It's been fun. It's been real. Don't be weird. Don't touch yourself. It's a sin. Be good. Be safe. Take care. I love you. Have a great rest of your night. And go make some fucking art.